Have you ever wondered what secrets the ancient landscapes of England hold? Step back in time to the Paleolithic era, a period when early humans first set foot on the rugged terrains of England. Over 800,000 years ago, these intrepid ancestors crossed precarious land bridges, driven by the relentless pursuit of survival. Amid the harsh and untamed environments, they wielded simple yet effective tools crafted from stone. Imagine the windswept coasts and dense forests of ancient England, where every stone and river might have been a crucial element in the daily struggle of these early humans. Significant archaeological sites like Happisburgh and Boxgrove offer us a whispering glimpse into these bygone days. At Happisburgh, footprints preserved in mud provide a tangible connection to our distant past, while Boxgrove reveals sophisticated tool use and hints at the social structures that early humans might have developed. These early adventurers set the stage for millennia of human development on this storied isle. Fast forward to the Neolithic era, where the true transformation begins. As dawn broke over the lush landscapes of what we now call England, a profound revolution was underway. The Neolithic Revolution, a significant turning point in human history, marked the transition from nomadic bands of hunter-gatherers to settled communities of farmers. Imagine the landscape dotted with burgeoning settlements where once wandering tribes now cultivated wheat and barley and domesticated animals like sheep and cattle. This newfound stability gave rise to population growth and the development of complex societies. But the Neolithic era was not just about agriculture. It witnessed the construction of monumental structures that continue to mystify us. Take, for example, Stonehenge. This colossal stone circle was erected on the Salisbury Plain, its massive stones transported from distant lands. Its purpose remains a topic of debate, but its construction undoubtedly required a sophisticated understanding of engineering and astronomy. These early builders were not merely changing their immediate world, they were setting the stage for future generations. With these stones, the ancients not only altered the landscape, but also the course of history. As bronze replaced stone, who else arrived at England's shores? The Beaker people, named after their distinctive pottery, migrated from the continent around 4,000 years ago, mingling and merging with the local Neolithic communities. They brought with them not just new ceramic styles, but also metallurgical skills that heralded the dawn of the Bronze Age in England. The landscape of England began to change, marked by the emergence of metal tools and weapons which outshone and outlasted their stone predecessors. This era also saw the introduction of the wheel and plough, revolutionizing agriculture and transportation. Several centuries later, the Celts arrived, infusing a new vibrancy into the culture with their rich lore, language, and artistry. Their influence is most visibly etched in the sturdy Iron Age hill forts that dotted the landscape, signs of a society that was both complex and hierarchical. These forts were not just military bastions, but also centers of trade and governance, evidence of a sophisticated societal structure that could mobilize vast resources and wield considerable power. These were the ages of metal and might, setting the stage for the dramas of history. What happens when a mighty empire sets its eyes on England? In the 1st century AD, the Roman legions, under the command of Emperor Claudius, marched into the British Isles, heralding a new era of conquest and cultural transformation. The powerful Roman military machine quickly subdued the local tribes and began the process of Romanization. The Romans were master builders, and their legacy can still be seen in the enduring roads that crisscross the country. They established Londinium, which would later evolve into the bustling metropolis of London. The mighty Hadrian's Wall was constructed under Emperor Hadrian, standing as a formidable barrier and a symbol of Roman authority at the edge of their empire. However, as the centuries wore on, the Roman grip on Britain weakened. By the 5th century, as the Roman Empire faced threats on multiple fronts, the decision was made to withdraw from Britain. This departure left a significant power vacuum, stripping the land of its Roman administrative structure and military protection. The Romans built, ruled, and departed, leaving a land ripe for the taking. Imagine the sight of Viking longships on the horizon. The late 8th century marked the beginning of an era that would dramatically shape the landscape of England. The Vikings, Fierce and skilled seafarers from Scandinavia launched numerous raids along the English coasts. These weren't mere plundering expeditions, they led to significant Viking settlements, particularly in the north and east of England, an area known as the Danelaw. Simultaneously, the Saxon kingdoms were flourishing in other parts of England. Figures like Alfred the Great emerged as pivotal leaders. Alfred, the King of Wessex, was not only a wise ruler but also a formidable military strategist. His resistance against the Viking incursions was crucial in preventing the complete domination of England by the Norsemen. The cultural and political impacts of this period were profound. The fusion of Viking and Saxon cultures enriched the linguistic, agricultural, and legal landscapes of England. This was an era of fierce warriors and even fiercer battles for supremacy. 1066, a year etched in the memory of every English student. This pivotal year marked the Battle of Hastings, where the fate of England took a dramatic turn. On the 14th of October, William the Conqueror, the Duke of Normandy, led his Norman forces against the Anglo-Saxon king Harold Godwinson. The battle was fierce, chaotic, and crucial, with Harold falling, famously struck in the eye by an arrow. The victory of William at Hastings had profound and lasting impacts on England. One of the most significant changes was the introduction of the feudal system, a hierarchical structure that redefined land ownership and social status. This system tightened the Norman grip on the country, reshaping English society at its core. Furthermore, William commissioned the Domesday Book in 1086, a meticulous census that recorded every asset and landholding in England. This monumental document offered unprecedented insights into medieval life and became a critical tool for Norman administration. With the fall of Harold's arrow-stricken eye, a new chapter of English history was written. Castles, knights, and plagues, the medieval tapestry is rich and dark. In the heart of the High Middle Ages, England was a realm of dramatic contrasts. It was a period marked by the building of magnificent Gothic cathedrals, towering testaments to human ingenuity and divine aspiration. Yet this era was also scarred by devastating events such as the Black Death, which wiped out nearly a third of Europe's population, reshaping societies in profound ways. The Hundred Years' War further defined this epoch, a seemingly endless conflict with France that stretched resources thin and brought countless woes upon the common folk. Nevertheless, it was during these troubled times that foundational changes were taking place. The English language began to flourish and assert itself in literature and government, moving away from French and Latin. Architectural innovations were not the only achievements. Cultural blossoms were also evident in the proliferation of universities, fostering a new age of inquiry. Amidst turmoil, the seeds of the modern world were sown. What happens when a king defies the church? This query set the stage for one of the most transformative periods in English history. The Reformation in England began with King Henry VIII's audacious move to establish the Church of England, breaking away from the Roman Catholic Church. This was not just a religious act, but also a political maneuver that allowed him to annul his marriage and remarry in his quest for a male heir. The ripple effects of this seismic shift in church-state relations were felt far and wide. Monasteries were dissolved and their wealth and lands were redistributed, fundamentally altering the socio-economic landscape of England. Fast forward to the mid-17th century, and the tensions between the monarchy and Parliament ignited into the English Civil War. The conflict ended with a stunning outcome: the execution of King Charles I and the establishment of a brief republican government under Oliver Cromwell. This period laid the groundwork for a new political order, culminating in the Glorious Revolution, which firmly established parliamentary democracy. These were the tumultuous steps towards a system that would change the world. As the smoke of factories filled the air, an empire expanded beyond the seas. The Industrial Revolution, a beacon of steam and steel, ignited in the heart of the 18th century, transforming England from rural landscapes into a juggernaut of industry. Cities like Manchester and Birmingham ballooned as factories sprung up, weaving cotton and iron into the fabric of a new society. This mechanical metamorphosis wasn't just about the machines, it was about the movement of people. As rural workers migrated to urban centres, the very social fabric of England shifted. The burgeoning middle class found their voice, both in commerce and governance, setting the stage for modern democratic ideals. Simultaneously, the British Empire was painting the map red, stretching from the Americas to the Asian subcontinent. The wealth generated from this vast network of colonies flowed back to England, funding industries and deepening the pockets of the industrial magnates. This era wasn't without its shadows. The same engines that powered economic leaps also fueled social disparities and environmental degradation. Industry and empire, for better or worse, forged the England we know today. From ancient stones to a global stage, England's journey is a saga of resilience and transformation. From the earliest hunter-gatherers etching their existence into the landscape, to the mystical alignments of Stonehenge, England's story began with a deep connection to its land and the cosmos. As centuries unfolded, waves of invaders turned settlers wove their own threads into this tapestry. The Romans, Vikings, and Normans each redefined the contours of English society, leaving indelible marks that shaped governance, culture, and law. The tumultuous Middle Ages saw England emerge as a feudal society, eventually sparking the fires of the Renaissance and Enlightenment. The Industrial Revolution propelled England onto a global stage, transforming it from a rural society into an industrial powerhouse. This era of steam and steel fueled the expansion of an empire on which the sun famously never set. Every chapter of England's history contributes to the rich tapestry that makes up the vibrant nation we see today.